committee approval for the site design and architecture for a new 53-unit townhome development. The property is generally located east of State Road 37, west of Bent Grass Lane, and north of Parkside. And we have Bree King with the staff to present.
And real quick before Bree's presentation, sorry Bree, I don't see the petitioner here. Typically with cases like these, because it's associated with the rezone, they go to Plan Commission the same night they go to PUD Committee. This is a little different in that they're going to Plan Commission next month. There might have been some confusion with the petitioner on holding the PUD Committee meeting. We are certainly happy to give you guys the presentation, and if you guys are comfortable with it, going ahead and approving it tonight. Otherwise, we'll be back next month and get some feedback from you all, and then for approval. It won't hold up the project overall timeline at all, though.
Thank you. Okay. Would you guys like to proceed? Yes, proceed, please. Thank you.
Okay, so here you can see the subject site indicated in purple just east of State Road 37. This is currently in the Fishers Marketplace PUD. However, a rezone petition is currently underway to rezone the property to PUD Marketplace Towns, specifically for this development. So final reading will be in October for that. Bent Grass Lane, as indicated here, is currently a private road, and this site is adjacent to the Woods of Britain Apartments to the east, you can see there. Here is the concept plan that has been provided. All the townhomes feature rear-loaded garages with private alleys to access those garages. There is some street parking available, and most of the townhomes on the east side, or all of the townhomes on the east side, front Bent Grass Lane to form a nice street view. Staff and the petitioner are currently working with the apartment complex to hopefully secure an emergency access or pedestrian access at that north corner there. So this design features 3-story masonry on the front and side facades. At first reading, City Councilor Coble described her vision for the architecture to feature elevated architecture on all sides of the structure. Here you can see the rear elevation. So this has 1-story masonry, first-story masonry. This rear elevation also has hardy plank siding on the additional stories. As you can see, each townhome has a deck as well as the dark-colored garage door. Here are the left and right elevations. You can see that complete masonry there. Here are elevations of what these townhomes look like fully constructed in the real world. I have the concept plan on the right to show you that the side elevations, which are full masonry, will be what is facing State Road 37 for that elevation there, as well as the 1-story masonry facing those internal alleyways. You can see there is a courtyard effect for those properties, and there's an image showing what that looks like in real life. Staff recommends approval of these elevations as presented. We believe that it meets all the architectural requirements with the proposed PUD and will complement the multifamily that is adjacent.
Thank you. Any questions for staff?
The only question I have, number one, I'd really like to get that street opened up for the access point. I know we're working on it, and I appreciate them stubbing it out to show that it's there, because I know our problem isn't with this group, it's with the apartments or townhomes or condos or whatever they are. And then secondarily, on the back side where the hardy plank is, I just want to make sure that we're not going to be all the same paint color throughout the entire stretch. They showed in some of the renderings kind of some earth tone features that were gray and then a lighter gray, and I just need to break that up from monotony so we're not gray the entire length of that building, because that's a long stretch of like a blank canvas, to give it some depth and character, if you will. So that would be my only desire on the PUD side for that.
Yeah, I would agree. The front has differentiation of brick color, so I would think that it shouldn't be too out of the realm of possibility for them to change paint color.
Change paint. Right. Yeah.
I guess question, and I don't know if you can answer this or not, Bree. So the facing Bentgrass Lane, is there a sidewalk on the west side of Bentgrass Lane then? these front doors would access the sidewalk. And then does that sidewalk continue then down to the south to the point where it would connect with that common Fisher's Marketplace pond that has the big deck area? Does
So
it
we
connect to there?
are currently working on trying to expand the connectivity. So we have asked that they provide a sidewalk further south than what they're showing
Okay.
here to just connect their citizens with all the open space in
Okay,
the current PUD.
that would be, because there's not a lot, I mean, there's green space, but there's not a lot of green space. And if you're back there walking your dog, you want to go for a run, you kind of are trapped a little bit at some point. So it'd be nice to be able to get that a little bit further south. And obviously, at some point, it's off of their property, so I don't know if that's whose responsibility that is at that point, but.
Okay. Thanks, Sean.
So again, we can wait until next month and bring this back before you guys when the petitioner is here for approval, or if you guys are comfortable, we can go ahead and approve tonight, and staff will work on the items that you guys mentioned, and have that before Plan Commission.
Thanks, Megan. I would entertain a motion.
Well, I'll make the motion to give it a favorable recommendation and move forward. I do want to know if they're not going to be compliant with that, right? The paint colors and the sidewalk kind of dragging down, that I would probably change my vote, right?
Yeah.
So-
Well, we can make tonight's approval on condition that those are met, and
Right.
if for some reason the petitioner has an issue with that, then we'll
They
be
can
back
come
before you.
Yeah, perfect. Then I'll make it as a condition of that for my motion.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second?
Okay, roll call, please.
Yes. Mr. Curran,
Yes.
Mr. Peterson,
Yes.
and Mr. Stevenson.
Yes, the motion does carry. Thanks, Pete. Next matter is PUD-22-11, Gray Eagle Golf Course. Caleb Songraf with Kimley Horn on behalf of R.N. Thompson requests consideration of the site plan and architecture for a new golf course clubhouse and associated site improvements. The property is generally located at the southeast corner of Brook School Road and 126th Street with a common address of 12500 Brook School Road. And we have Jonah Butler here with the staff to present.
Good evening, PUD Committee. My name is Jonah Butler with the Department of Planning and Zoning. As mentioned, presented before you is PUD 2211, the Gray Eagle Golf Course and Clubhouse Redevelopment Project. The subject site is indicated in red. The site is located at the southeast corner of East 126th and Brook School Road, where the Gray Eagle Golf Course currently exists. The site is adjacent to the Gray Eagle subdivision and incoming multifamily development to its south. Identified above is the location of the existing and proposed clubhouses. There will be minor site improvements included with this development, including a parking lot reconfiguration, internal trail alignments, and the like. You can see here the proposed clubhouse site plan laid over the aerial map. As shown, the building footprint and parking area is not dramatically altered. To the south of the proposed clubhouse redevelopment is a new multifamily development. More details on that are incoming, as ground is not yet broken. The planner for that project, I believe, is Brianna King, here with us tonight if you do have any questions. Here's the entry view of the development, the proposed development. The building design incorporates modern roof planes and materials alongside plentiful landscaping as identified in the petitioner's packet. The signage depicted is to be determined later. The structure is 2 stories in height and incorporates the above materials, including vertical wood and stone veneer. Along the perimeter are various wooden pergolas or trellises that you will notice on the following slides as well. The trash and utility areas will be screened by a metal gate with a complementary stone wall along the south side of the building. Not shown on these various elevations, which may be seen on the site plan, are the various internal pedestrian paths that will follow the perimeter of this building. Besides stone trim and veneer, a separate stone trim will be used to accent certain features along the perimeter of this building. The proposed materials match the the proposed materials match the materials in color of the future developed preserve at Gray Eagle to the south of this clubhouse. The slide shown contains the elevations approved by the PUD committee last year for said development. The rear of the structure is shown here, where the driving bays will be located. The function of this property will be similar to Topgolf, where visitors will pay to use driving bays for a certain time. The structure is angled and located in such a way that the visitors will not risk physically impacting the adjacent developments with their golf balls. Furthermore, the Gray Eagle HOA Board of Directors has recently provided us with a letter of support of this design, which we can submit into the record. All this considered, staff recommends approval as presented, as we believe it meets all the architectural requirements of the PUD and will complement the previously proposed developments. Thank you. Let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you, Jonah.
Of course. I'm just going to pull up the elevations for discussion. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. We'll hear from the petitioner.
Good evening. My name is Nick Davis. I'm with Brown and Day Architects. I'm here with my client, Bobby.
From the Gray Eagle Golf Course.
And this is Don Myers. He's the construction manager. Just to give you an overview of the project, the existing building that you saw on the existing plan is about 15,000 square feet, and our footprint will be about 25,000 square feet. And we're putting this new building about 45 feet to the east and southeast of where the existing building sits, so we can increase that parking lot just a bit. Overall, we're going to have 22 hitting bays times 2 floors, so a total of 44 golf hitting bays, four golf simulators indoors, indoor putting green, golf shop, a 7,000 square foot restaurant and bar and event space on the first floor. There's also a bar upstairs with restaurant seating and bar seating of about 32 people. We'll have an elevator, and exterior materials are the thin cast stone veneer in a color similar to Indiana limestone, as you saw there. Natural wood, thermally modified. It's a vertical shiplap pattern, and the color would be a natural wood color as you see there in the renderings. Aluminum storefront, gray in color. Vision glasses expected to be a neutral gray, clearish color, non-reflective. And then our metal roof panels are charcoal gray in color. Overall height of the building is about 32 feet and some change, just for reference. Any other questions?
Thank you. Any questions from the board members?
Yep, I can go first. First of all, what's there is an eyesore, so anything you do to improve that's going to be awesome. I know the site very well. I certainly appreciate the architecture, which you guys have done. I think it's a terrific job, along with all the landscaping. The only concern which I have, and we don't see anything in the plans that were there, were the hitting bays at night, right? One of the things we had and we faced with Topgolf was the lights. And of course, it's right up along I-69, where I'm not getting any complaints on lights on I-69. However, when we tried to potentially move a church over there that was going to have lights in their parking lot, I got a lot back from Gray Eagle, so I'm glad they're in favor of that. So hopefully they talked about the lighting plan. You also have the neighbors across the street to the north. So my question would be is to, driving range hours, what kind of lighting is there to make sure we've got the proper hooding and shielding so that it's not facing out towards the residents to that north side, right? So as long as we keep that in mind, I think it's a tremendous improvement to that group. So talk to me about maybe that driving range a little bit and hours and the lighting. If you
I can let Bobby speak to the hours, but I do know the lighting plan that we developed with the engineers does have light shielding on it, and we've done a photometric plan to show that we're not bleeding excessive light beyond the property line.
Perfect.
Bobby, as far as hours of operation, what did you have in mind?
On weekends, we were hoping to go till like 11 and then 10 during the week. As you know, the lights right now, you know how they shine out. Well, these are more directional.
Good.
And they're on the poles, and they shine down instead of out towards the course, or the driving range. And this will be a turf range, and we'll have nets on the side.
Right.
So the lights will be on the poles shining down more than shining out. Because right now they're sitting on the building, and then they're on those poles right there by the hitting stalls, and they shine out. Well, lighting's gotten a lot better with LEDs and everything since we built this one.
Yeah, I just want to make sure we were conscious of that, and it sounds
We
like
are.
you guys got it under control with the lighting engineers doing that. So Yeah, I appreciate that. So
Okay.
other than that, I'm anxious for it. I'm anxious to finally have you guys announce who the restaurant is, and, you know, we'll see what we can do there.
We're getting so close.
I know
to
you are.
that.
I won't say anything.
Any
so-
other questions?
How tall is the netting you mentioned? How tall is that?
We have a netting company on the side where the apartments are, could go up to 160 feet, and then it's 50 feet around the other sides, because we have plenty of distance. You're hitting straight out towards our golf course, and our range is gonna be 280 to 300 yards long, not 210 yards. So we have plenty of netting on the backside, and we're changing the 9s around, so 9 or 10 will be 1. So that's where we'll have a 50-foot net around that side. And our practice area is on the left. You don't go out to the right to get to hole number 1 anymore. So we'll have our practice area on the left-hand side, and it'll be right by the nets, so you're protected from getting hit there.
So 50 feet tall along 126th Street then?
On 2 sides of the 3,
Okay.
and then on the
Apartment
apartment side where the larger building is, where we have a guy working on the trajectories. Our building isn't as tall. We're only 2 stories, not 3. So they're thinking 160 feet to protect that 4-story building. That's our 3 or 4-story building for Hart. And then it will go down at the end, because there's nothing we need to protect at the
Right.
end.
Okay.
Okay.
Proximity of that netting to the apartment building, would you guess?
It's probably 50 feet.
Okay.
We have some mounting also along that edge too,
Okay.
but it's about 50 feet.
Okay.
Thank you. I echo Pete's comments from earlier. This has no basis on how I'm going to vote here, but I appreciate the enhancements that you're making, and particularly the netting, the safety that it gives. But I may be the only person in history who hit someone, and it was hit someone with the ball who was standing behind me when I was swinging. So I don't think you have netting for people
I don't know
behind you.
if we can prevent
Yeah,
that.
can't prevent that.
Yeah, I think Jalen Rose can swing better than I can. Yeah. So, any other comments?
No, I think that architecturally, I think it looks great. You know, seeing the design, but I kind of wish the apartment building came after this, because then we could tell them to take these cues in the design of their building.
Sure.
I'll make a motion to get a favorable recommendation for PUD committee.
We have a motion.
Second?
We have a second. Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Peterson?
Yes.
Excuse me. Mr. Curran?
Yes.
Mr. Stevenson?
Yes, the motion carries.
Okay, go get it done, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay, you're gonna love it.
We look forward to it. We have nothing for River Place PUD Committee. Staff communications? Nothing.
Motion to adjourn.
We are adjourned.